All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to get into something that is, well, it can be incredibly frustrating. We're looking at sources that explore this invisible barrier to achievement. You know the one, where you have the talent, you have the work ethic, but you just keep hitting a ceiling.
Yeah, and the material we're digging into uses this really powerful metaphor for that barrier. They call it the hidden thermostat.
A thermostat.
Exactly. It's not about the market or your competition. It's this internal mechanism that's quietly capping your potential.
So it's like you finally get that big bonus check, and then suddenly the car needs a new transmission.
That is the perfect example. It's the
Mhm.
thermostat just pulling you right back down to its preset temperature.
So this system we're looking at, the Science of Personal Achievement, or SOPR, it says the real issue here is something called the self-image.
Right. It's this powerful silent program that's running everything.
But I have to ask, how do we know this isn't just, a convenient excuse for not putting in enough strategic effort?
That's a crucial question. And the material really grounds this in mind science, specifically in psychocybernetics.
Okay, I've heard of that.
The whole concept is that your mind acts like a goal-seeking mechanism, a guided missile, basically,
And the target it's locked onto.
is the image you hold of yourself. The self-image is the target. So if your internal blueprint is for a life that earns, say, $70,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
your subconscious will literally sabotage opportunities that might take you to 100,000. It's just correcting its course.
Wow. Okay, so if that's the problem, how do you actually change the setting on the thermostat? It sounds like the whole game is just aligning that inner script with your biggest goals.
Well, it starts with what the sources call the self-image reset.
And this isn't just like chanting affirmations in the mirror, is it?
No, it's much more focused than that. It's a process of using your imagination and repetition to present a new, undeniable fact to your internal guidance system. You're literally creating a new blueprint. And when that new image takes hold, you stop fighting yourself. Success and leadership start to feel, well, they feel natural because they finally align with who you believe you are.
That makes sense for the proactive side of things, but what about that friction, that resistance you feel the moment you actually start to succeed?
Yes, that feeling. That's exactly what the material calls stopping sabotage forever.
Oh,
Your old self-image doesn't just go away quietly, it pushes back. That feeling of imposter syndrome when you land a big promotion.
yeah, of course.
That's the sabotage mechanism. It's your old programming desperately trying to lower the temperature back to what feels familiar and, safe.
So just understanding that it's a mechanism is half the battle.
It's the key to closing that gap between what you say you want and what you internally allow yourself to have.
So connecting this all to the outside world, the material mentions something called the physics of success. What do they mean by that?
This is where it gets really interesting, especially for anyone who's into ideas like manifestation or the law of attraction.
Right.
The material is pretty clear that applying those principles requires one necessary first step. You must change the self-image first.
Okay, so the inner work has to come before the outer results.
Exactly. In this framework, your self-image determines your vibration, which is really just the energy you're putting out based on your deepest beliefs. If your internal belief system says you're small, you broadcast a small frequency. Change the self-image, you change the signal, and that fundamentally changes what you attract into your life.
So the big takeaway here is that intelligence and effort they're crucial, but they aren't enough if your internal world isn't aligned.
They're not. You can have the best car in the world, but if the GPS is programmed for the wrong destination, you'll never get where you want to go.
You have to give yourself permission to succeed by, as they say, reprogramming the machine.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, your success hinges on one thing, whether your internal control mechanism is supporting your efforts or capping them.
So we'll leave you with a final thought to think about. If your self-image really does act like an internal thermostat, what specific hidden belief might be setting the temperature too low right now on a goal you truly desire? Because according to this material, that's where your greatest freedom lies.
Discover the secret psychological wall that stops 99% of people and get the code to crash through it for unlimited action. Subconscious reprogramming. Replace old, limiting bondage conditioning with a powerful self-image that automatically attracts wealth, opportunities, and success. Stop relying on conscious willpower and start accessing the limitless intelligence flowing through you to achieve goals effortlessly. Your life is a masterpiece waiting to be unveiled. The SOPA course is the final key. Enroll now and start your transformation today.